Hey friends, after having this sawmill for a while, I want to discuss some of the things I've learned from it. Okay, so first off, this thing has been a great thing for us. We've made a lot of board feet of lumber, probably saved us thousands of dollars already just in what we've been able to mill from lumber that have been donated to us. It's a really neat piece of machinery. It went together really easy. It just takes some time. You follow directions though, and it went together super easy. One thing that I've had an issue with is when it first comes, it's not calibrated as you want it to be able to run a lot of lumber through it. So you have to calibrate the tracking on one of the wheels. So let's go around and look at the back side of this. Okay, so this is the back side. This is the motor side of the sawmill. And this over here says their proper tensioning, where this piece is flush with this cylinder. Now, when you change the blade or need to rotate the blade by hand, you'll have to loosen this up. And it shows where if it's not flush, if you can see the shoulder on here, it's not the proper tension. So this is not where you do the tensioning. Right here is where you do the proper tensioning, the proper alignment rather, so that the blade runs straight and it doesn't veer off the front of the wheels or to the back of the wheel. That's one thing I didn't do when I first got it, and it spit off a blade, and then I realized, oh wow, you have to adjust this. So you adjust it by these two nuts right here. Let's take a closer look at that. All right, so these two nuts right here move this thing left and right, and that is what moves the blade, tilts the wheel rather up front to where it'll be tilted in or tilted back, to where when the blade runs, it'll tend to run off or to the back or just run straight. And so you need to adjust this slowly. One will tighten as the other one loosens to move this block. Now the other side has the tracking adjustment that you do not move. This is factory set right here, so don't peel this sticker off and then look at the block and try to adjust it left or right. This one is factory set, leave this one alone. You adjust the other one by moving those bolts left and right, and that moves the wheel. If we're looking at it from the side, that'll move the wheel so it'll cant, and the blade will either run off on the front, run to the back, or it'll just run straight. And so the way you check that is you take the covers off. You'll take the covers off. There's a latch here, there's a latch under here. It's right underneath. Raise this up. Latch under here is right here. The latch under here. And then you take this threaded knob, you unthread that knob, and then you can open up the front. So what happens is as you adjust those nuts, this wheel will tilt a little bit, and it'll allow the belt to come, or the blade rather, to either come out off the front or to the back, and you'll know when you get it just right, it won't move at all. So the way you test that is you need to turn it, you loosen up the tensioner a little bit, and you turn this, and if you're turning it, it has a tendency to move off or to go back, you need to adjust it. So also one thing, this belt is supposed to be loose. There's a sticker right there, says it's normal. Don't think that something's wrong if that's loose. That needs to be loose. So when you take a belt off, or when you take a blade off rather, you're going to unscrew this tensioner, you're going to unscrew this tensioner and let that tension off of the blade, and then you can easily take it off, and then you want to tighten it back on and make this flush. Make sure that's flush, and so it'll run the way it's supposed to. Okay folks, so like I said, this thing's been a really good machine for us. It'll do a really nice job on milling out flat slabs. We've done walnut, we've done ash, we've done maple, we've done cedar, and we've done willow and oak. So we've done a lot of different types, a lot of different thicknesses, a lot of different densities, and it's worked well on all of them. I will say though, the harder the wood, the slower I need to go to make a good cut. Yeah, I can push it through, but it's harder on the blade and it's not as good of a cut. So if you're doing oak, if you're doing ash, if you're doing hard maple, walnut, you go just a little bit slower. But if you're doing cedar, you just can fly through that stuff. So those are my reflections on it. This thing has been a great thing. I have the trailer package, but we haven't pulled it anywhere yet. The plan was to be able to pull it to a site where there was a lot of logs and be able to cut those logs. But thankfully, we've been blessed to have people just drop off logs for us, and we've done all our cutting right here. Hey, thanks so much for watching, folks. Remember to work hard because hard work is its own reward. And thanks for the view.